I've always credited my wife, Chris Greenhow, for just kind of taking me by the hand and saying, honey, that's not what you want to do. That's not what your passion is. What you want to do is you want to follow your dream. With her advice, said, okay, let's start this thing. But one of the things that was interesting on that is, part of the inspiration for starting an organization like College Possible was to kind of honor what my parents had done. But my parents couldn't believe that I was going to do this. They said, my God, you got a degree from Harvard. You have from their point of view, it looked like I had a winning lottery ticket. And they couldn't believe I'd go start a nonprofit.
So how big was the first class, the first group of young people you helped?
Yeah, well, it seems so small today. Today this year we'll reach almost 25,000 students across 6 cities across the country. But that first group was 35 students. And so we had one high school here in St. Paul, one in Minneapolis. And it was so small, that you knew every student and knew what they were up against. And my founding idea was that I would try to find students like I had been, who had parents who maybe wanted them to go to college but didn't have the resources, didn't have really the ability to help them navigate. And what I found when I got into these urban high schools was that the students, almost all of them, had a much more difficult life than I ever did. And so many of the students that I met were from immigrant families where their parents maybe didn't even speak English, who didn't know our culture, didn't know our systems, or came from families where the father wasn't around. All kinds of very challenging backgrounds. And so that first group, I was a little nervous about them, but over 80% of them ended up getting admitted to college, and eventually I think it was over 90%. Over time got into college. That generation of students, we're almost 20 years old now. That group they're married now, they're having children, and they're all gainfully employed. They're all following careers that are meaningful to them, and it has made them significant contributing members of society, because when you take somebody who was in poverty and you help them get an education and get a good job, you're not just helping those students, you're helping all of our community, because now they can pay their fair share of the taxes, and they can be leaders in our community, and they are. And this year it'll be just about 25,000 students.